Half of the buffalo stands beneath the river. The other half rises above it. Below the surface, small fish gather around its legs and belly. Above the water, red-billed oxpeckers move across its back, shoulders, and neck. One group swims. The other flies. Between them stands a Cape buffalo, looking less like an animal and more like the busiest feeding station in Africa. The fish inspect everything beneath the waterline. The birds search everything left exposed. But this is not the rescue it appears to be. The buffalo wants relief. The fish want food. The birds want food. To understand how animals from the river and the sky gathered around one giant, we have to return to the beginning of the day. Earlier that morning, the buffalo moved through dry grassland under a rising sun. Its body was built for survival. Its horns could drive back predators. Its shoulders could absorb violent impacts. Its hooves could carry it across mud, dust, and broken ground. But none of those weapons could reach the smallest enemies attached to its own skin. Ticks hid behind the ears. They gathered near the base of the horns. They clung beneath the neck, across the shoulders, and inside protected folds around the belly and legs. Flies crowded around the eyes and nostrils. The buffalo shook its head. Its ears snapped from side to side. Its skin twitched. Its tail swung like an angry whip. The flies moved away. For about 2 seconds. Then they returned, apparently convinced that persistence was a survival strategy. The buffalo rubbed one shoulder against a tree. Rough bark scraped through its coat. A few insects scattered, but many ticks remained. It lowered itself into the dirt and rolled from one side to the other. Dust rose around its body until the giant nearly disappeared. When it stood again, it was dirtier, angrier, and still carrying unwanted passengers. A buffalo can face lions. It can survive drought. It can fight rivals twice in one morning. But put a few parasites in places it cannot reach. And suddenly the king of the herd is scratching itself against a tree like it has lost an argument with its own skin. That is the advantage of parasites. They do not need to be stronger than their host. They only need to reach places the host cannot. Nothing worked for long, so the buffalo began walking toward the river. The water could cool its skin. It could wash away dust. It could cover the lower body and force flies away from many exposed areas. But the moment the buffalo entered, its private problem became a public opportunity. Water rose around its hooves, then its knees, then its lower belly. Dried mud softened and drifted away. A small fish approached one leg. It circled once, then moved closer. Another fish appeared, then several more. Soon, small bodies were moving around the buffalo's submerged skin. They searched near the legs, beneath the belly, and around joints and folds where mud, loose material, and small organisms could collect. The fish were not trained cleaners. They had simply found a giant carrying possible food. One fish moved toward a patch of skin. Another followed. When one left, another took its place. The buffalo shifted one hoof. The fish vanished into the cloudy water. A few seconds later, they returned. Free food has a remarkable effect on courage. Beneath the surface, the buffalo's body became a landscape. Its legs were moving pillars. Its belly formed a broad ceiling. Its folds of skin created sheltered spaces. For the fish, this was not just an animal standing in water. It was a temporary habitat full of surfaces to inspect. Their activity might remove loose debris, tiny organisms, or material attached to the skin. It might also give the buffalo limited relief. But the fish were not motivated by comfort or kindness. They came because the buffalo carried something useful. The irritation of one animal had become an opportunity for another. Still, the fish could only search below the waterline. The ears remained exposed. The horns remained exposed. The neck, shoulders, and back remained exposed. Ticks were still feeding there. That created a second feeding zone. A small brown bird flew across the river and landed on the buffalo's back. Another followed. These were red-billed oxpeckers. Their feet gripped the thick coat. Their eyes searched through hair, wrinkles, and folds of skin. One bird moved toward the shoulder. It stopped, tilted its head, and struck. A tick disappeared into its beak. The bird stepped forward. Another quick pull. Another parasite was gone. Near the base of the horn, one oxpecker probed into a protected fold. Another searched behind the ear. The buffalo flicked its ear. The bird jumped away, waited less than a second, then returned to the same area. Oxpeckers seem to believe rejection is simply part of the job. Above the water, the birds searched places the fish could not reach. Below the surface, fish continued moving around the legs and belly. The buffalo's body had become two feeding territories. The fish controlled the submerged zone. The birds controlled the exposed zone. The buffalo controlled almost nothing. It stood between them like a giant building occupied by tenants who had never signed a lease. The birds moved along the neck and shoulders. The fish remained around the lower body. Flies still circled the face. One buffalo was now supporting more businesses than a shopping center. It would be easy to call this a rescue, but it was not. This was hunger organized around one giant body. The fish searched for food below the surface. The oxpeckers searched above it. Any relief the buffalo received was part of the exchange, not an act of kindness. The relationship also had limits. Oxpeckers can remove ticks, but they may also become interested in irritated skin or wounds. Repeated pecking can cause further irritation. A bird that removes one problem can sometimes take advantage of another. So the buffalo was not receiving a perfect cleaning service. It was tolerating a complicated trade. Some discomfort might be reduced. Other discomfort might remain. The arrangement continued because it worked well enough. Carrying many parasites could be worse than tolerating a few persistent beaks. The birds risked being thrown into the air. The fish fed beside hooves that could end lunch instantly. Every animal took something. Every animal risked something. That is why this was more than a cleaning scene. The buffalo had become a moving ecosystem. Its skin supported parasites. Those parasites attracted birds. Its submerged body attracted fish. Its face attracted flies. One animal had become a battlefield, a restaurant, and a habitat at the same time. The buffalo stood more quietly now. Its head shook less often. Its ears appeared calmer. Its breathing slowed. This did not prove that every parasite had disappeared. It did not mean the fish and birds had performed a miracle. It only showed that one animal's problem could become another animal's opportunity. Nature had built an entire economy around one irritated giant. No payment, no appointment, no customer service, and absolutely no refunds. Eventually, the buffalo began to leave the river. Water slid from its body. Its legs rose above the surface. The fish remained behind. Their feeding territory disappeared with every step. But the oxpeckers stayed. One bird remained near the shoulder. Another moved toward the neck. A third searched behind the ear. The underwater crew had lost access. The flying crew was still working overtime. The buffalo climbed onto the riverbank. Dust stuck to its wet legs. Flies began circling its face again. The entire system changed in seconds. The fish disappeared into the river. The birds continued moving across the buffalo. The parasites that remained kept hiding in the coat. The giant returned to the grasslands carrying part of the ecosystem with it. An oxpecker lowered its beak. One quick pull. Another tick was gone. Tomorrow, the buffalo might return to the river. The fish might gather below. The birds might arrive above. And the parasites would almost certainly return, because shameless persistence is their greatest survival skill. One giant body, two different worlds, dozens of competing needs. Across the African savanna, survival is rarely about kindness. It is about finding value in another animal's problem before someone else gets there first.